Okay, today's lesson is in Book 4A in Math Mammoth. We're going to be starting on page 57, and your homework is going to go through page 59. So, starting on page 57, let's look at some of those numbers on that page. For instance, look at 3A. We have the number 456, 098, and you're supposed to read these numbers aloud. So the main thing to remember is everything before the comma is read as a normal number, and those are thousands. So this is 456,000. So you just read the number 456 like you normally would, and then you say thousand. This is how many thousands you have. So 456,000, and then the rest of the number is just 98. Okay, so 456,098. Alright, and I want you to practice reading the rest of those numbers and make sure you can do that. Alright, and then if you look down at number 4, we have, if you look at 4A, this is the problem. And so what you're supposed to do is think in thousands. Okay, so you have 30,000, and you have 5,000. And if you add 30,000 plus 5,000, you're going to get 35,000. Okay? So if you think in thousands, you can add these numbers a lot easier. Alright? So try to do that and think in thousands, and that'll make it easier to figure out the answer. Alright? The same thing in number 5. Think in thousands, think in whole thousands, and do those problems. Alright, on number 6, you have a number line, and 510,000 and 520,000 are marked at the posts, and they want you to write the numbers that correspond to the blue dots. Alright, so what you're going to have to do is figure out how much does each little tick mark represent based on what's there. Alright, so work on that, see if you can figure that out. And then on number 7, they want you to make a number line from 320,000 to 340,000 with tick marks at every whole thousand, similar to the one above. And then mark those numbers on the number line. Okay, so you should be able to handle page 57. So let's move to page 58, and we're going to be looking at a section called Practicing with Thousands. Okay, so if you look at that first example up there in the blue box, we have in words 35,000, oops, 4. Alright, so how do we write that number? Well, 35,000, we can write 35 with a comma, and then 4, we have to write 4 with the rest of the three. We have 3 more digits, so it's not, there aren't any hundreds, there aren't any tens, so it's 4 ones. Alright? So that would be the way you write that number. Now, let's practice another one. Let's say we had 203,060. Alright? So we would write that number, 203,000, and then we have 3 more digits, we have to write 60, so it's got to be 0, 6, 0. We have 0 hundreds, we don't have any ones, but we have 6 tens. So that's how we would write that number. Okay, so now let's look at number 1 and look at the first example. Alright, so they have the number 49015. Alright, and so they want you to break these numbers down into whole thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. So how many thousands do we have? How many hundreds? How many tens? And how many ones? Okay, so we have 49 thousands. We have 0 hundreds. We have 1 10, and we have 5 ones. So you just fill in the blanks there for all of these numbers. Okay? Alright, now on number 2, you're going to write the numbers, and they're giving you how many thousands you have, how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones in each case. If it's not listed there, then you can assume you don't have any. For instance, if you look at number 2A, they tell you that you have 20 thousands, 7 hundreds, and 4 ones. They don't tell you have any tens, so you can assume there are 0 tens. So you would write the answer then as 20,000, 7 hundreds, 0 tens, and 4 ones. And that would be your number. Okay, so you can do all of those in number 2. And in number 3, those are similar as number 2, but they've got them kind of all mixed up, so you've got to be careful. Alright, and in number 4, they want you to continue the patterns on those numbers. So go ahead and do those. And then on number 5, you're going to have some numbers that you have to add. Alright, so I think you can handle those. And so your homework then is page 57 through 59. Okay, see you next time. Bye.